All right, guys. So apparently I'm a rookie. I filmed my video on hot dog, not hamburger, but I'm a vegetarian, so what do I know? So I'm gonna kind of go through my next build here. Basically we're gonna show you what it is, and I kind of already got everything sub-assembled together. So kind of explain different things, but first and foremost, probably in the last video, you're probably like, who the hell is this guy? So my name's Sean, or T-Bone. I live down here in Texas, in Houston. I lived up in Portland for 5-6 years. Unfortunately, during COVID, I moved back down here. Basically been here since. But I wouldn't mind moving back up there. I mean, I keep saying it, but pretty soon. Got a lot of irons in the fire. Not to keep on dragging stuff through, but eventually my dream is to kind of start doing frames on the side. I can show you different things. And I'll introduce you also to my little sidekick. So here he is. Here's Hank. He's my number one dude. He's awesome. So let's go ahead and show you kind of some of the stuff I got going on around here. Actually, that's my regular bike right there. It's dusty, so shows how much I actually get to ride. I got some health issues going on, so I can't really ride too much, and when I do, it's very limited. But those who know that one, that thing's been with me forever. Probably will die with me. I know everybody's always asking about it, but yeah, it's still here. And it just sits in the rack collecting dust next to my other ones. Yeah, so let's I was talking about doing the frame stuff. So again, I'm starting to get some of the machinery going and whatnot. Got some tubing up there and whatnot. I do some other stuff, and of course, I do dirt bike stuff and whatnot. But yeah, let's get on to the project here. So those who were in the last video realized I talked about that dropout, and then yeah, I got it powder coated. I went ahead and stickered it up last night, and went ahead and put the seat post in. The seat post has kind of a weird issue going on. It's this frame I picked up, I ain't gonna lie, I got this frame for a steal. It came out of a junk pile. I caught it on Marketplace, and yeah, I got it. I was on it. I ran across town in a heartbeat when I saw this thing posted. I've been after one. I know Shad's been after one. I think everybody wants one, but yeah, so I had it for a while. I was going to trade for some stuff. Nothing really worked out, so I said, hell, let's just assemble it. So, but yeah, the threads were blowing out right here, so I went ahead and retapped it, but I did have to shim it, because it'll just snap that bolt pretty easily. And I don't know if it's because, the seat post might be a little bit, I'd never really mic'd the stuff, but it's, it's just, with that seat post and seat combo and the threads being ripped out, I think it's just a little bit flared out. Nothing crazy. I went ahead and fixed the dropouts. The dropouts were fixed in the last video, but yeah, they are looking good, especially when it's all painted up. I went ahead and faced and chased everything, so everything's all nice and crispy, ready to go. So yeah, and one of the things I use for doing that is I got this little homing thing, and it does wonders. It doesn't really take off any metal. And then of course, I got the park face and chase stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's go ahead and come over here. So I'm going to show you right now. I am currently working on the brakes. So I got these brakes from Shad. Unfortunately, the bolt was broken, so I went ahead and got this bolt from the hardware store. I'm going to try to make it work. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I went ahead and retapped it because I could not find the threads I need. So I went ahead and retapped it. So hopefully it works. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll figure something else out. But yeah, so it needs to go together here. Yeah. So let's go on to this other stuff. Got the wheels all done, ready to go. So the wheels, they are Araya 7Xs, and I relaced them, Suzu hubs. They are 36, but the whole point of this build is not to really go and get the bike perfect. I'm trying to get it running. I'm kind of going with the David Freiberger philosophy. You know, it doesn't have to be right, just get it running. And as time goes on, I will go ahead and start upgrading stuff, but I'm not going to try to put goofy stuff on. I mean, I hate it when mid-school guys, well, not mid-school guys, but people take mid-school bikes and they throw like colorful mags on them and stuff. I mean, you've seen them. Again, that's not my thing. I try to do stuff right. So I started riding right at when this bike was made, 1993. I started basically racing when Hoffman, whenever I really started riding, was during the ramp room era. I couldn't afford anything Hoffman. I mean, I was just scraping by with what I had. And yeah, it's you know, it's cool because, you know, now I got for some reason I'm always coming up on Hoffman's. So let's go ahead and get this thing together, and I'll show you as stuff goes on and goes on the bike, and I'll kind of explain different things, not to bore you to death, but just to get things rolling. I'll show you how everything kind of goes on and different things. Most of y'all already know, but it's just cool to see the progression. Me, I'll style this bike, you know, when chrome was peeling off and everything else, and now it's all getting all done up. So yeah, let's get this thing together. I'll show you what I've done. Next, I'm gonna probably assemble these brakes, get everything ready to go, and I'll start slipping everything together. All right, got the brakes on. I had to use, like I said, this bolt right here. I had to use, this is a big bolt boa. So, you know, whenever I got it from Shad, of course, it was broken. You know, he told me it was broken. It wasn't a secret or anything like that. But, yeah, that's the OG bolt, you know, the big bolts. They come hollow, they snap sometimes. But yeah, it was, yeah, I mean, there was no salvaging it. Or maybe there was, I don't know. I mean, looking back, I probably should have done something else. But, again, I went to the hardware store. I couldn't find any on the museum or anything like that. So I figured, you know, since this would have like a little bit of a bearing surface, and this guy, it's got a little bearing chamfer in there. Fortunately, my lathe is down at the moment. Otherwise, I would turn this and just make my own bolt. But again, just try and get this go for the weekend. And then, of course, you know, when it rains, it pours. So I got the bolt made, and then I start tapping the backside, and the tap snaps off in it, of course. So I did another one. It's not perfect. Again, I'm going to go and replace that altogether, but at least it's on there. And then I'll just go back through it again, unfortunately. So it's a little rigged up, but it's on there. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It'd still be a fully functional brake. But yeah, I will be making that correct. It just is what it is. I mean, it's kind of a mess there for a minute, because, you know, it's not easy to do all that. Again, if my lathe was up, I would have had it done. No questions asked. But yeah, my lathe is down right now, so I'm doing everything with a hand drill, old school style. So how appropriate. But yeah, and so I drilled this out. This side's not drilled yet for the big bolt to go all the way through, because that's a standard size, and this side I did the drill for the big bolt. And I want to also do a shout out to Nick Bevan. So when I got these forks, I originally bought them from a dude off the museum, way on the other side of the world, and just kind of shoddy pictures. He claimed that they were first gen ditch forks, and the peg bosses look to be first gen ditch forks, and the angle that he took it at. But then when you look closer, that dropout doesn't add up. And then like inside the steer tube down here, it also wasn't correct. That's what threw me off the first go, because it's like, oh, it has like a one-piece steer tube. But no, it's actually a UK brand called Exposure. We never really got the Exposure stuff here on the state side, but yeah, Exposure forks, I guess. Kind of a bummer, because later on I do want to replace them with Hoffman forks. And I was planning on keeping these around for a S&M build if they were pitches, but oh well, win some you lose some. But yeah, yeah, and these pegs are just kind of just some generic pegs. Again, trying to get it going. I'm not trying to get all crazy with it just right off the bat, but later on maybe throw some Hoffman pegs on or something else. But yeah, let me get this fork mounted in here and start throwing stuff on the actual frame. All right. So trimming down these cables, I just kind of thought of something. Whenever you're cutting cables, always use good cutters. These are Felcos, they're Swiss-made cutters, so they're pretty fancy. But the other thing too, I do, I can't really see that, but it's always kind of like you get like this weird little burr cut. Go ahead and like grind that thing off. Just buzz it, like, just try to get it smooth, so that way whenever you put the cap on and all that other stuff, it's not, it just makes your cables flow better and doesn't jam stuff up. It makes stuff firmer. So I'll show you in a second whenever I get back on this. So this is what I was talking about. Whenever you're done, it should be nice and flush, real flat. And then take a poker and just poke the hole in a little bit. That way your cap and everything just doesn't get jammed up. You're not going to deal with a frayed cable, stuff like that. So, yeah. And yes, I'm going with blue cables. All right, on to the next thing. So I got some Tech 77s. They're just the newer repop ones. Again, I'm just trying to get this thing running. It's not really, it's not its final form, but yeah. So I got mushroom grips, Patriot bars, and then I got a TNT stem that's super mint. Found that on the museum, and yeah, I got the brakes mounted up over here. Got the gyro kind of ran for the lower. Got the 990s on the rear, and again got the proper caps. They're the taller caps, so that would be correct. And yeah, so let me slip these bars on and see what it looks like with the bars and everything on. And cranks and the wheels are next. All right, one thing I kind of noticed early on with the stem, the inverted stem, like this guy, it was touching. You can see a little scratch right there on the gyro. I went ahead and just shaved it back a little bit, because also the other issue too, it wasn't allowing it to sit all the way down. So let's see where it will go now. See if I can do this one-handed. All right, so, oh yeah, that's a lot better. It's still hitting, but again, it's got it down a little bit lower. If anything else, it's going to now hit the gyro, which I can't do anything about that. But yeah, I know that's a pet peeve with Shad and also myself. Whenever you got a quill stem and you don't slam it all the way down, it's kind of a kook thing. But yeah, again, trying to avoid the kookness. Shad's kind of keeping me in check on some of my weirdness that I do. So yeah, let's get it bolted up. I'm gonna hit it with the the shaved area so it's not silvery with the old pocket anodizer here. Again, that's a little joke in the bike shop, but yeah, let's get this thing bolted. All right, I got the brakes kind of mocked up right now. Yeah, we're gonna keep going with this. I always want to do the rear brake, kind of feel out where it lands. One issue is these are Amazon Jeff Bezos specials, so the length was kind of weird. So I went ahead and put like a little NARP in there and some NARPs on the gyro over here, but I had to shave them down. So Hank says he approves, even though he's over there eating some pizza as usual. So yeah, got the brakes almost there. Again, I always want to do the rear to see, because I always kind of want to match this front one up. The front one's easy to kind of pull slack around and whatnot. So, yep, I'm going to let Hank finish his pizza here. Hank, you going to finish your pizza? And then, yeah, got that rear one kind of mocked up. So you kind of see, again, Shad got me the right caps. So that's cool. And then, yeah, I like where this all lays out. Had to kind of do some custom work, like shave my NARP right here that was hitting. Because, again, I had to cut these cables down, so the ends had to come off. And, yeah, just trying to get everything to lay out right. I mean, I'd like to have these shorter, and I did order some other NARPs for this guy. But the, yeah, unfortunately, Jensen USA did not ever send me the other set. So, all right, well, I got to go grab my dog before he runs away. All right, so I'm getting the wheels on right now. I'm going to leave this back wheel in, but it's just going to be loose because, again, I got to get these cranks in. That way I know where my chain's going to end up. I'm not going to trim these until I'm ready to see where everything ends up exactly, and then I'll finally dial that one in. The front's dialed in. It's good. Again, put a little pink cap on there for the stickers, and got the blue cables, so it's looking good. And again, I'm going to be taking this bike to shows. I'm not going to really ride this thing. It's going to basically be a carpet queen. I'm 6'5", 400 pounds, and parts back then, even though these were high quality stuff, yeah, I don't think they had many of me riding these things. And yeah, I'd rather break a new bike than one of these. Again, only so many of these floating around. So yeah, I'm gonna get these cranks in, and yeah, and I'll go ahead and show y'all what I'm throwing on there. Let's getting busy over here, so let's slide this shit out of the way. I mean, stuff out of the way. Sorry about that. And yeah, again, y'all probably saw that when it was mocked up. I got changed the cranks. I had some generic ones, but I love the profile stuff, and it's period correct to that. So I got these off a guy on Museum, and I forgot his name, but he worked with me, and I polished them up a little bit, so they came out good. They had a little bit of speckling. You can kind of see it right there. It's on the back side, so I'm not too worried about it. So, and that CPR sprocket, they're cool. They're cool sprockets. I mean, I know they're probably getting a little bit too new for this bike, just a little bit. But I could see somebody running one of these. I remember when these things were floating around. I know they're kind of a generic sprocket, but I always thought they're pretty cool. I mean, they kind of remind me of the GT Power Series sprockets, but they got more cutouts, and I think they just look a little bit better in my opinion. But I know Shad's gonna hate me for that one, but yeah, I think these just kind of look better. But yeah, let me get this thing slapped on here. Oh, by the way, again, the whole thing with this bike is let me spin this pedal. These are just generic Wilgos, DX style platforms. Again, the whole bike, I'm just trying to get it together, trying to make it look right. Nothing too goofy on it, but I want it to be nice looking too. So I figured, rather pay. I mean, those Shimano pedals have gone up so much. These Welgos were like 20-30 bucks, brand new minty, and you can get some clapped out Shimanos for like 150 on museum. So maybe later. I mean, peregrine pedals would be dope on this. That's kind of what I would go for. But yeah, let's get this on. All right, the cranks are on. So yeah, they look good. It's kind of a big ring too. It's a 46. If I can get focused, there you go. Yeah, gonna see where this wheel ends up. I always try to slam my wheels as far up as possible. I've always done that. I mean, if you ever look at my rigid, the dropouts are hacked. All my other bikes, dropouts are all the way up. This thing's got super long dropouts, so I'm not going to try to really get it all the way up, and then plus the brakes probably won't work. Yeah, I'll get it as close up as I can without it looking goofy. So yeah, let's get this chain on, and the chain I'm going with is just a basic KMC. I didn't really care to get too fancy with the chain. Back in the day, people didn't really care too much about what chain they ran unless they're like racers and stuff. So KMC was the normal one for a lot of people. So it's just a 410, and yeah, just gonna throw that on. All right, guys, check it out. It is together. It is done. I got everything dialed in for the most part. There's some still tweaking once I get it on the ground to kind of make it, a little bit better. The brakes are very, very tight. The brakes, didn't have much clearance. The gyro, just this fork and everything. It doesn't have that much room. But, the gyro cables are kind of goofy because, they're just Amazon ones. I'd like to I ordered some, gyro cables, name brand ones in blue, but they were the Maui blue for like the GTs, so it would have looked dumb on this. So maybe down the road, I'll find some dark blue Odyssey ones, but in the meantime, again, this bike was, kind of not really thrown together, but it was pieced together pretty quickly. I have other project bikes that are just long drawn out. I was kind of worried that this one was going to be like that, but again, I just kind of built it somewhat budget minded, not really budget minded, but just try to get it going, looking right, rather than just hanging up on my wall, crusting up with bad rust and whatnot. And it ain't really had that much rust. And anything it had, I fixed the dropouts. These dropouts were pretty gnarly. Again, I cleaned them up and made them look good again. That's kind of what I do. I do like some metal fabrication. So, it was in my wheelhouse to do that. And again, I'm going to get it all wiped down and stuff once it's off the stand. And I'll probably take some good pictures tomorrow. I'll shoot some more video too for you guys. So that way, we'll follow up after these videos. And, again, it's a huge shout out. I mean, I didn't think this bike was going to come together the way it did, but, huge shout out to Shad. I mean, he does a lot for you guys in the BMX community. He's a hardcore dude. If you need anything, just hit him up. I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge, and he really, if you need anything, input, info, parts, he's a small shop, support him. He's a core BMX shop, just like, Powers and all those other guys in Empire, all those dudes, you gotta support them. I mean, BMX is on the ropes right now, and anything you can do it. Put on an event, do something, that way, even like I'm doing, just go to a bike show, throw together a bike. It doesn't have to be, super nice. Just, bring something else. I mean, there's bikes that, I just like to see just cause, they're nostalgic. Again, I wasn't riding Condors when I first started. They're unattainable for me. So, yeah, it's It's cool that I have one now. Oddly enough, I have a kind of a curse of Hoffman's where I never rode a Hoffman coming up, and now it's like with collecting, I'm endlessly coming up on them. I don't know why. This is probably my sixth or seventh Hoffman. I've mostly been an S&M guy, so go figure. I don't have a single S&M except for my 22, my daily bike, but again, I haven't been able to ride that lately because of health issues. It's kind of a bummer, so I kind of try to do what I can. I don't want to be one of those kooks that never really rode, and then you see their bikes and you cringe at the shows. I actually rode for a while. Been around Houston forever and whatnot, and yeah, it's I've been working at shops, doing different things, working for companies. I even had my own shop for a while. I had my own bike park for a while, which was Dirtwood. Shout out to that. I mean, it's long gone, but anybody from Houston that rode BMX, they know Dirtwood. It was BMX park, so I had it for about 3 years, and unfortunately, the way that the stuff was, I just couldn't keep it open financially. It just drained me. So, any money I did have at the time was gone. But again, I like doing this little stuff, and, it kind of keeps me involved in the bike stuff. I definitely want to stick around, again, doing some frames, doing some other stuff, and we'll see what's next. But yeah, after this little video clip, I'll show you the bike all cleaned up and whatnot, so that way it's, you can see it in the daylight, because, right now it's probably like 4 a.m. here. I'm a night owl, so threw this together for y'all guys, so that way you can check it out. Again, thanks for watching this, but, yeah, watch the next little clip here, see it in daylight, and, yeah, I'll probably, talk about more about it, but other than that, yeah, the bike's done. All right, guys, here's the following day. I got it out in the daylight, so yeah, check it out. It's all cleaned up, and she's looking good. Again, a lot of stuff went into this thing, and just trying to get it all going, all nice. So hopefully y'all have enjoyed these videos. Again, not say like and subscribe, but yeah, like and subscribe to the Snakebite and Shad stuff. I probably won't really be posting my own stuff, but yeah, if you want to check it out, yeah, I'll be taking out some shows coming up, and yeah, see this thing out in the wild, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I dig it. Hopefully y'all do too. Again, huge shout out to kind of everything that facilitated this, especially Shad, but BMX Museum, Gary over there. Without him, I think a lot of this nostalgic stuff would kind of like fall by the wayside. And then yeah, Snotty helped out with kind of calling some stuff out, and giving me some pointers as well. So I'm always down for constructive criticism, but yeah, it's definitely cool. It's gonna stay in my stable for a little bit. So yeah, if y'all got any input, I mean, like I said, I'm down for the constructive criticism. If I did something wrong, let me know. I definitely appreciate it. And again, I'll probably post give Shad some more videos here on the next build that comes around. So who knows what it'll be, but yeah, this thing is pretty much done. Again, I'll upgrade it as I go, but in the meantime, appreciate you watching this. And then yeah, any questions or comments, let us know. Thank you for sticking around and watching this.